Aaron has disposed the tyrant and raised up his grand champion. Oh, what brings the referee out now? I am pleased to see I was not mistaken about you. That voice, it's the president. None other, though obviously this is not my true form. I am in my quarters on the utmost floor. Deal. Tell us where the drop of life is. It is here with me. Come. I shall give it to you. You have earned a personal audience. Drop of life. I haven't the faintest what this is about, but I better take a camera to capture these events. This is a strange place, isn't it? What the hell? What is that? What is that monstrosity? The Lindworm. The legendary serpent of Eld, and the namesake of my homeland. By infusing myself with its soul, I have come to assume this form. The present has become this terrifying creature? Why, those people there, they're the immortalized. Etrope. Why is she? You promised you would save her. I'm truly sorry, but it seems he was one step ahead of us. You have served me well, Midtum. I have long been aware of your duplicity. Array behind me are all the fighters that have been immortalized. With each feral transformation, their souls were ravaged until they ultimately met their demise. A pitiful fate. They shall make for a fitting audience for the final act here in this fateful recreated Limbund Theater. Use the bodies of departed as decorations. This is pure depravity. People of Alexandria, in my mission to bring you even more thrilling entertainment, I have given my very body and soul. I have acquired the power of the mighty Lithworm, and thus sought to create fighters who could offer me fierce contest. Alas, all died prematurely, taken by a soul-consuming affliction. But they may last no peace, for the one I have long awaited has appeared. With the actors fully assembled, the greatest show in the Arcadians' history may finally begin. In feverish highs, shall all sorrows and tedium be swept away. This is unconscionable! How could the president do such things simply for entertainment? Unenhanced warrior, know that you've merely become heavyweight champion. If you wish to be crowned true Grand Champion, you must now defeat me. I'll defeat you, don't you worry. That is the spirit. See to it that you spare no preparation. Nothing short of perfection will suffice for our performance. Shocking truth has been revealed and the final match is set. How will this harrowing tale conclude? I think all the fighters were dying using feral souls. It's because we wanted thrills. Arcadian was my escape, but if I knew the price for it. This is the way it is. Our only hope for this unstoppable upstart to win. That's right. Let's all cheer her on against this evil president. Trope. Well, this is it. Not you too, Electro. Not you too. Glory incarnate. Yana is beside herself with grief. Deep down, I feared we might be too late. I've steeled myself for the worst, but the reality was too much to bear. When I saw how the president had exploited my sister and all those, I tried to use a feral soul without thinking. I wanted nothing more than to fight with you, but I know I'd only be holding you back, and I'd be a fool to be tempting fate again with a feral soul. In his twisted mind, the president might think this is just a show, but to me this is a reckoning. For Etrope and all the fallen fighters, bring that monster to justice, Kari.
It's the shocking true face of the villainous president, the mighty serpent of yore, the Lindworm!
Glory incarnate, the Lindworm.
Never had a choice, never let the ops win. Calm them nerves, got the whole world watching. Ready, set, go, there ain't no stopping. Light it up. Heart is pounding out my chest, the blood boils inside of me. Looking at the walls around me, closing in, I think what's it gonna be? Never.
The president must pay for his crimes. Give him what for, champion!
Wow.
His arm has a life of its own. Is this the power of the mythical Lindworm? His arm is
Oh,
flickering out. Oh, that's disgusting.
I wasn't expecting that. Ow. Alright. Not this time.
A direct hit, but they're still standing.
Harold Fisher.
His arms are snaking round the ring. What's
Huh.
Oh no! The door has latched onto the champion! Don't panic!
Okay, I see. Yeah, I was afraid that was gonna happen.
And they're back in action! Can they turn the tide? Oh, they're up! What fighting spirit!
All right. Heck.
Another attack evaded with a bomb.
Ah, that was a mistake on my part.
They're down. Can they recover from this? They've been struck with venom, but they can weather it. They
Fixer. Actually, yep, the little shriek thing again. Thank God, disgusting, you know.
The battle is decided! Victory goes to the champion! What the? Could the Lindworm's regeneration be out of control? The Lindworm's completely healed! What outrageous regenerative power!
Well, this is disturbing.
Is there no limit to his regenerative capacity?
There we go.
Unbelievable! The champion's done it! The president has been defeated!
I don't know. Something feels off. You did it, Kari, just as I thought you would. Now, tell us where the drop of life is. We won't allow anyone else to die. And what you see lies before you. The aether wielded by the limworm's heart is the simulant for the regeneration factor. Now set aside your grief for Etrop and the other fighters that have not perished. Everyone can be saved, everyone except the President. What? Everything has been part of the President's plan to produce a cure for the psychonekrosis. What? This was his plan all along? When the first fighter was diagnosed with the disease, the President was utterly shaken. He cursed himself forever, introducing the use of feral souls. Determined to find a cure, he turned to the treasure that had been passed through his line, the egg of the Lindworm, a creature known for its phenomenal regenerative abilities. After much experimentation experimentation, he ultimately extracted the soul of the unborn beast and took it upon himself. And though he transformed into a monstrous possession of prenatal regeneration, he sadly could not use the power to heal others. To make matters worse, the power meant he was forever locked in this serpentine form, though was forced to confine himself to the mausoleum. For a small blessing, his regulator still allowed him control over the Arcadian's devices so he could operate machinery. That's how he was able to make contact with me and convey his intention, to sacrifice himself and have the cure made from his heart. Alas, the Lindworm was too powerful. Even the tyrant proved no match, and the Arcadian remained in operation. The search continued for a warrior capable of defeating him. Those fighters who developed psychonekrosis had to be retired and put into a deep sleep, a cold stasis to keep the disease at bay until they could be cured. It was for this reason that Etrope was kidnapped. The president laminated subjecting more souls to the disease, but for wanting a solution, he could only press on with his plan. That's the truth. Why didn't you just tell us? The president is nothing if not a showman, dedicated to his regrets, his desire for atonement, and indeed his very life, to bring greatest thrills to the masses. In doing so, he would promote the fiercest fighting competition to give rise to ever stronger fighters, one who he hoped would rise up to challenge him. It was to keep the competition running, and the disease was kept secret. And through many fighters showing promise, it seems that none would ever transcend the tyrant. Until you appeared. From the moment he saw you, the president was certain you'd be the one to defeat him. All he needed to do was spur you on. By doing so, he casted you as a rebel who would tear down the Arcadian, and even himself, as the greatest heel it has ever known. Man couldn't help but turn everything into a spectacle. It's so absurd, one can't help but admire it. The entire time we've been puppets in the president's play. Regenerated again? Confound it, he's already recovered! We'll help too. It's no good. Everyone listen up. Fruit bomber? Where did he come from? West Kid, wait. I need you to channel all my ETH. Use it, Kari. Our combined power. Kick. Falcon kick. We need to finish him now. Fought well, champion. Leave the rest to us. President confined us long ago. We've been acting according to his instructions. It was my duty to serve as the Challenger's final test. And to ensure their hands would not be sullied. It was the battle of a lifetime, even without feral souls. The Arcadians' future is bright. Hector, I thought you were gone, that you died after becoming that fiend. I thought the same, but I woke up and I was myself again. Leon explained everything after that. The president giving a less potent soul for the bout. As people restored me back to normal. I've been resting in the Arcanians' infirmary ever since, but when I saw what was happening on the broadcast, something could keep me from coming here to help. I might have pushed myself a little too hard. I forgot I had this little disease. We were right that we should move everybody to the infirmary immediately and have the cure created. I shall personally tend to the matter from here. Every soul will be saved. I give you my word. I have to say I'm a bit miffed that Brute stole the spotlight, but I'm glad everybody is safe. Try not to encourage the veteran dancer. He's already insufferably smug as it is. I had a feeling it'd play out like this. For all his quirks, I knew the old man couldn't have truly been a villain. I watched the broadcast from start to finish. You were absolutely amazing, Kari. Though it's taken some time, you've inspired me to change my views towards souls. Like Yana, I've decided to remove my regulator as well. By the way, some people from the Arcania dropped by earlier to apologize for the president's deception, helped fix up the gym. It's been a whirlwind of events, but the worst seems to be over. All that remains is to pray that everybody is cured. Sometime later. I am pleased to say the treatment was effective. Everyone has made a full recovery from the psychonekrosis. Symptoms are completely gone. I feel like myself again thanks to the cure, and is, of course, to you as well, Kari. Yana told me all. Words do not suffice to show my gratitude, but please accept my thanks. Yeah, mine too. I owe you one. That's the most I expect out of him, so... Before setting off for their homes, the heavyweight fighters and those who were in stasis also expressed their heartfelt gratitude for you. I would not be remiss to do the same. Thank you, Kari. Meanwhile, I must apologize to everyone. Though it was to conceal the President's plan, it remains the fact that I deceived you. I am truly sorry. And here I thought you were the true mastermind. Me, the mastermind? You give me too much credit. I have not the imagination to conceive of such an audacious plan. That said, I did work behind the scenes to ensure all went according to script. In light of that, perhaps I could be considered the mastermind. In the end, everything is as the President had hoped. Wherever he is now, I too would doubtless he'd be overjoyed. Sacrificed himself to save us all. Another debt I can never repay. The President actually had one last wish. For those who still bear the love for the Arcadian, and even after continue to fight and bring excitement to the fans. He had us all figured out, as if we were still dancing in the palm of his hand. Lest you've wondered, I've arranged for the souls in the repository to be set free as you desired. Never again shall feral souls be wielded in the Arcadian. From now, matches will only be fought between unenhanced warriors. The upstart's revolution was a success. This means, however, that there are none present who could offer you contests until our fighters have been strong enough. I'm afraid we won't have any matches for you. I'm sure that day will come soon. I think I speak for everyone when I say I'd love to face you unenhanced. I won't stop training until I'm ready. Now then, there is a crowning ceremony for the new Grand Champion. Naturally, it can't begin without you, so pray come to the green room at your earliest convenience. All right. Time to wrap up this story. We're almost at 6.5 hours. Wow, I think that's the longest stream I've done in a very long time. Actually, I think it comes pretty close to being the longest stream I've ever done. Ceremony will be held in the very ring we fought. Wasn't all that long ago, yet it feels like an age. But come, everyone's already waiting. Be sure you're dressed for the occasion, because all of Alexandria will be watching. My fellow citizens, we have gathered to recognize a new grand champion in the Arcadian. An unstoppable force of nature who tore through every obstacle in her path. Please join me in welcoming this radiant star to the stage. The woman who's boldly ushered in a revolutionary, yet unenhanced, yet undefeated queen of the Arcadian, Kari Azirasol! Thus, the tournament arc comes to a conclusion. Hold it right there. Arthur, you're the grand champion. I refuse to accept it. Oh my, the brute bomber has barged into Carrie's ceremony again. Does this man never learn? I demand a rematch, just you and me, unenhanced. Not so fast. Watching you get assigned by Kari would be entertaining, but I'll be your opponent. Black Cat has leapt into the ring. I dare say this should be an even match. The President is no longer with us. It falls to me, my humble self, to authorize matches. And on this occasion, I am pleased to approve the impromptu expedition. Let this clash the Christian, the Arcadian's rebirth. She's the claw that gleams in revolutionary shadow, the rebel that prowls the dark, Black Cat. And he is the man who's been to hell and lived to tell the tale, the incorrigible, reprehensible brute bomber. So it ends where we began. I did it. I beat the brute bomber. Sorry for spoiling your moment with that charade, but I wanted to kick off the new era of the Arcadia with a bang. Medium came up with it last-minute script, and I agreed to join in. Retired fighters have been returning as well, eager to fight in unenhanced matches. We're going to do our best to keep the Arcadian exciting. And though you may have noticed, everyone's decided to remove their regulators, because we won't be needing the souls anymore, feral or otherwise. Meanwhile, since you have no equal, you've been granted the title of Internal Grand Champion and entered into the Hall of Fame. You're already a legend, basically. Now then, though you may not be able to fight, we still love to see you. Don't be a stranger and drop by the gym or the green room from time to time. I have to admit, we played as much as we played into the President's hands from the start. It was because you were the protagonist of his script that we brought this tale to a happy conclusion. We couldn't have done it without you, our enhanced Grand Champion, so please allow me to thank you again. We are forever in your debt. And that, as we say, is that. Well, that was the Arcadian. Now, it was fun. It was a fun little romp. It's, I don't know how I feel about the actual conclusion, how the story of it played out, but I can't say that it wasn't a bad raid series in terms of just being bombastic fights and crazy wrestling shenanigans that worked actually a lot better than I thought it was originally going to when they first announced the thing. With that being said, thank you for joining me in the Nexus of Realms as always, and we'll see you next time.